Hello and welcome to Daily Politics on Trust TV. On this program, we discuss issues around politics, policy and governance. I'm Hamza Idris. The state of the economy remains a big concern for every Nigerian as the cost of living continues to rise, unfortunately above the means of the citizens. And while government seems to be doing all it can, many, including organized labor, the opposition parties, among others, are saying that some of the policies which took effect at the commencement of the Tinubu administration are direct cause of our current predicament. And while many have the belief, others hold a different opinion. And joining us on the program tonight are two young persons who supported then APC presidential candidate and now President Bola Tinubu. They had real expectations from the current administration, especially for young persons. But what is their take on the current state of the nation? Musa Mamman Kwantogora is the chairman APC North Central Youth Stakeholders Forum. He is also the moderator of ASO Villa News, an online platform which reports the activities of the federal government. We also have in the studio Abdullahi Sidi Ali, also a member of the APC and a contestant for the position of National Youth Leader in the party's last convention. Gentlemen, welcome to the program.
Oh, thank you for having us at this moment.
All right, we'll take a short break, and when we return, the conversation commences. Don't go away. Yes, Musa, I'm starting with you. Yes, you manage the online platform which reports activities of the federal government. Every day one minister will say we will do this. Tomorrow another will say we will do this.
Yes.
Next tomorrow another say we are trying to do this. Nothing on ground. This is what Nigerians are saying, not me in the studio. Why are they not performing?
Well, first and foremost, I have to appreciate you for giving me this opportunity to find me deem fit to come again. To me, not that they are not performing. The first stage of a developing government has to deal with the implementation. You understand? After implementation, we have execution. You get? We are in the stage of implementation. All what needs to be done have to be implemented to follow the due process. You get the point of view I'm coming from?
Yes.
So this government, the government of President Bola Tinubu is doing all it can in order to see that the common Nigeria benefits. The common Nigerian believes that him being in Nigeria is a blessing, not a cost.
But do you think Nigerians, youths specifically, they are still proud that they are Nigerians, going by the hardship in the land so far?
Yes, we are proud that we are Nigerians, and after every hardship comes ease. You understand? You get to the point of view I'm coming from. So I don't have much to say before I further. Is we should be patient.
The Nigerians should be patient.
The patient will not take the long period of time as it usually used to be. This patient will only last for a few months, at least a month and a half.
Okay.
To see the result.
All right, Abdullahi Sidi Ali,
Yes,
I want you to come in. Yes, you were here. We hosted you as youths to campaign for Tinubu.
Yes,
for free,
yeah.
which you did. And after the election, we brought you
It's true.
to talk about expectations.
Yes, sir.
Now, it's like the confidence of many youths in Nigeria is waning. Could that be true? Or it's not waning?
Thank you for having me on this studio at this moment. Yeah, your question is actually true, and the youth of Nigeria, not only the youth of Nigeria, any individual in Nigeria is facing the hardships of this nation that is going on now currently. What my actually brother said, that any developing nation must face the consequences of being into light before coming to reach its peaks. So it's true what he said, and what you actually say is true. The nation, we are facing a tragic hardship, and even the government has known. Even the first son of the president have come online and tell the Nigerians to apologize to his father. Even the first daughter, Iyaloja General of Lagos, have come online and asked for Nigerians to forgive them and give them a time for them to get an expansion time in order to bring new policies and their own policies that are working on the ground to see every Nigeria will develop and every Nigeria will benefit.
Okay, and Kwantogora, who said ultimately it's actually Nigeria today, between politics and reality. And we brought you here because you have a future. If other senior citizens, come here and, dilly-dally in approaching the issues at stake, we can forgive them. But you, if you defend it today, the undefendable, I mean, one day somebody will now replay because they say social media don't lie. You have one.
Yes.
Yes. Is it that the takeoff was actually faulty? The takeoff of the administration? Because we heard that the announcement of the removal of fuel subsidy was not in the script. And people are attributing the hardship we are going through to that statement by President Tinubu. Subsidy is gone.
Well, first and foremost, I think President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a president that listens to every Nigeria. That is why everybody is allowed to come to media and so whatever he feels like, and there is no the government are not going after anybody. Those things that are being said, we pick from there in order to what? To know the hardship that Nigerians are facing. But when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is coming to power, there are a lot of mistakes that he made
on ground
that really we need to follow a lot of steps in order to adjust those mistakes if we really want Nigerians to benefit. But if money is being pumped and just lies are being gathered for the poor Nigerians to benefit, at the end of the day we will not smile, and at the end of the day the situation will be worsening than how it is. But now, the removal of fuel subsidy, to me, the president did the right thing. Whether he removed it, whether he didn't remove it, it's only a month after his inauguration as a president, it will elapse.
Okay, that is the budget.
That's the budget
that was made for the fuel subsidy.
For
so even if he hasn't removed it on his coming, it just had 1 month to
he has only 1 month, and the redesigning of Naira has caused a lot of damages to Nigerians, which at that time we take it as it is nothing. Think of the issue of influential rate. What causes influential rate is what? Availability of cash or currency. God made these fingers different. But if the government tried to say everybody must be able to afford a car, at the end of the day, the economy of that country will collapse. In redesigning Naira, how it is usually done is, they will be given a time whereby the old money that is there, the two will be used up to the extent that the other one has to what? Elapse. But at this situation that the past government used, they said they gave only a little period of time for everybody to stop using that money.
And it caused a lot of problems.
I came from a rural area. A lot of poor people from the villages, from rural areas, have to come to town in order to sell 100,000 naira for 25,000 naira in exchange of the new currency. At that stage, we forgot that the repercussion is coming. And this is the repercussion. The situation we are on ground, it is of two. We have man-made, we have the situation made by God. In the time of made by God, the last rainy season that came with a lot of challenges. A lot of places that cultivated their crops were being washed away by water. That is created by God. The one that was created by man was the insurgency or the crisis of insecurity. A lot of these people are in the rural areas. They cultivate what to feed the nation. They were not able to go to the farm.
To go and bring it out.
To go and bring it out. To go and cultivate. They only cultivate what they can be able to eat at that particular time. But they couldn't save what to eat at this present situation we are. So it is of two options now we need to work on. The first is we should try to create more manpower in order to support the farmers. This situation comes to us in the right time because we are only having 3 to 4 months for rainy season to come.
Yeah.
So the federal government should try as much as possible when they are giving those allocations instead of handing it to groups, let them hand it over to governors. Governors should hand it over to their commissioners. Commissioners should work hand in hand with local government chairmen. You understand the point of view I'm coming in from?
Yes.
So that it will touch a lot of lives. If today a common Nigeria can be able to cultivate, we will have what to eat, we will have what to store, we will have what to keep in warehouses.
And the anger will go.
And the anger will go.
Okay, CD. Of course, so many interventions by government in the name of palliatives. You know, there was this 5 billion,
5 billion
you know, the trucks of
the government.
Food for the governors to share. But these things are not really trickling down to the downtrodden. Can we say the government was not really prepared at the first instance, and that is why things have yet to improve up till this moment? Even though you're actually not in government,
I'm
but you are a youth leader, yes.
Government, but I can get a small experience from what I have already seen is happening in the government. When you look at Nigeria, we have independence since 1960, and independent government have been forming in Nigeria. So to say government is not prepared for all these kind of things, I think we haven't said it right to the government. But maybe the policy that is on that palliative sharing, people or the people who are distributing it doesn't have selfless interest in it. Because once government want to distribute anything, not even palliative, anything that government want to distribute, just look at the UN that government have been given loan during President Muhammad Buhari, all this INERA whatsoever, many the kind of policies that have been going to the masses directly without the structure of the government. So, and even I cannot say without the structure of the government, even though I say it, but we can say it has gone directly to the masses. So when government want to do, maybe want to share this kind of thing, the government has its own ways to do. Just take a look and see what has happened during the election period. There are so many governors after this election, during this hardship, that masses have been breaking inside the stores and whatsoever. Yeah. They have been seeing rice and so many palliative items that are supposed to be shared since during Corona period, during 2020, by the COVID-19. And all the politicians kept it there in order for them to pave way for the delegates, to share for delegates during the primary election. We can even say during secondary election. So if government have interest in sharing things to masses, government could do it, because government have the standard political structure from up to bottom, from up to down. Government know the way to penetrate and reach the masses without any intervention or without any second-hand person that they will say will be like a representative of the government, or be like a representative of the people. Government have direct in touch with the people, with the society. Because once government is looking for wood, they go direct to the rural area, they go direct to the polling units, they go direct to wherever they wanted to get votes. So if government want to share all these palliatives, or this government want to open these kind of things, they didn't supposed to keep it on the side or somebody, some places, or to give somebody. They have to come and practice it itself, themselves, because of the hardship we are facing. Okay. The masses need to see the government intervene in sharing this food, because now people are not going for anything. Anything that is not food is secondary for this moment.
Any other thing.
Anything.
You are right.
Yes, the primary issue is food.
Where is the problem?
the problem is food.
I know you interface. Interface with key government functionaries. You remember over 2 weeks ago, President Tinubu said 42,000 metric tons will be released. Then a week or thereabout after, Minister of Agriculture alongside Minister of Information, they addressed the world that those food items will soon be released. Up till now, we are waiting. Is it that they have this food, or they are just actually cajoling Nigerians so as not to revolt?
For us to have equality in this, it is not the duty of the president alone. How everybody attacks the president every day, abused every day. It is not only the duty of the president, the duty of governors, the legislative, the traditional rulers, the religious leaders, everybody, even myself, have a duty, a role to play in order to get this done. The president have implemented. The president have come out and said such amount of money have been given to governors. No governor have come out to deny that the money was not given to them. The responsibility of the president have been done. Remember, we have 35 states of the federation. Every state have different
36.
ways.
36,
36.
yeah.
36. And they have city, yeah.
Yes, they have different ways in order they carry out their activities. This is the duty of the governors. You understand? For them to make sure that those funds that are given to them, they should have the fear of God. These days, my slogan is all those that are in government, the governors, the ministers that are in government, it's not that they are better than us. It's not that they have God fearing more than us. But God sees something in them. He selected them because He knows they will add a value to the lives of Nigerians. If they misuse that opportunity, it is for a little period of time. They will go. They should use this opportunity to touch lives. Now we are talking of improving Nigeria. It's not the fault of the president alone. The president cannot rally around the 36 states of the federation plus the FCT. He is to implement.
But do you think he has the right people who will help him implement? Because we've started seeing a lot of allegations now. Look at Minister of Humanitarian Affairs. She's gone. You know, a lot of questions on Minister of Interior is there. Even Hannatu Musawa, you know, questions over her head. Do you think the president has gotten it right?
The president have gotten it right. Nobody can get it right completely unless God. But in his own mentality, in his own thinking, he has gotten it right.
But you, who has been with him, you know, a youth leader for a very long time, do you think he got it right?
Of course, to me, he got it right because CD is appointed as a minister and he has been told, if you are not doing what you are asked to do, someone will replace you. If you are deemed fit to do the job, you need to fasten and do the right thing.
You are now making reference to the office of Hadiza Bala Osman, right?
Yes. You understand? The president have good thought for Nigeria. He has good thinking. He loves Nigerian. That is why he didn't allow his ministers to be superiors over the government. They have to give back information to give back result. Few months to come, if any minister is found wanting or he's not doing what he's supposed to do in his ministry, believe you me, he is leaving. Because there are a lot of people that can do the job. You can do the job. He can do the job. I can do the job.
So you think he will act?
He will.
Okay, CD.
Yes, sir.
Are you really worried by drum of war, you know, from different places? PDP a few days ago, they said Tinubu should resign. It's like he is not ready for governance. The presidential candidate Atiku said it appears the shoe too big for him. He should let it go so that those who can deliver will take over. Yes. What is your take on this?
You know, in a country like Nigeria that we are having a highly political matured stand, you will expect much more than that because everybody have the freedom to say what he likes to say. If it's not what it's out of character that will be accepted by the government. But to our former vice president of Nigeria and former presidential candidate of PDP on this 2020 election, for him to come out and say these kind of things or say we will not be surprised, and every Nigerian will not be surprised because it is a political entity, it's a political arena. Everybody has his own opinion.
I told you, I said between politics and reality, because you know it's like he was speaking on behalf of many Nigerians, and but you think it's politics?
It's politics now because during his time as the vice president of Nigeria, even President Olusegun Obasanjo, his then superior, publicly announced that over his dead body for him to allow Atiku Abubakar to be the next president of Nigeria, because we know it's politics. Because Atiku has already single-handedly picked up what 400 million yes or 40 million youths will not be well in Nigeria as long as he will remain the next president after him. So it's politics now. Even Atiku, if you say he's in the political arena, we can't stop him. It's through them they could understand all this their language. But what we know is there is consequences after the removal of fuel subsidy because the nature of Nigeria, not only Nigeria. If today, as my my brother say, these hands that God created are not the same. You can never be at the same levels. Before, Nigeria used to pay subsidy because we used to sell like 2.3 million barrels per day. We used to collect the money in dollars, bring it to CBN, give it to BDC. BDC will give it to the people that need it. But during Buhari's time, it's changed. IMF will collect the money, give allocation to some cabals or people that he like. Cabals will sell it to the market, and dollar started bringing a huge amount of, how can I even call it, profit. So that profit play a crucial role in crippling our economy. So Nigerians are expecting the consequences during the removal. And President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu has said it publicly when he was campaigning, no more subsidy. And after he had been inaugurated, he already got his mandate. He already got his ways. He removed the subsidy because even President Muhammadu Buhari's government have been making promises that they are going to remove the subsidy, because if you remember during President Muhammadu Buhari's campaign, before him coming president, after him being head of state, he'd been saying who is subsidizing who. That is his political slogan. We all knew that. But when President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came into power, he removed the subsidy, and we suppose Nigeria to prepare for the consequences. We cannot be taking how can I even say, we cannot be enjoying things, and one day for that repairing or whatsoever, we think that things are going to go right. Fuel subsidy will cause so many issues in the country before bill level and bringing equal policy to the Nigerians. So we had to expect this. We can't dodge ourselves for being Nigeria. We are currently in the nation, so we collectively supposed to bring, as my brother Kontagora, be creative in terms of promoting government, not bringing issues that our former president, who our former vice president, who have been the chairman of the economic team, he's supposed to give an if we could believe he's a full patriotic and he have nationalism in his mind, he's supposed to engage in contributing in an advice that will contribute in developing the economy, not in bringing as you say. Look at it there. Between we should talk about politics and reality. So if you had to talk about reality, politics have already been passed. We are heading to the Constitution of Nigeria. Said that if you are sworn in office, you are only going to spend 4 years in office. You can't stop criticism of being. But we all know that this is something like it's a politics. We're supposed to go on reality. Former vice president supposed to come with his team and his people to help Nigeria in this hardship. We believe, I'm in APC, I believe that Nigeria is facing hardship. I will never dodge myself of saying that Nigeria is not facing or what, but we have already know what the solid foundation has already cost. So our former vice president supposed to be a full patriotic Nigeria, supposed to volunteer himself in giving an advice, as I say, to help the economy, not to be politicizing issues.
Maybe you have something to add to this.
Well,
because even nocturnally, you know, even Peter Obi is not really.
To me, I take them as politicians that have no value, that have retired. They are just looking for audience.
This is according to you. You know, they have their followers.
No.
Don't you think if elections were to hold today, any of them could
they will not win.
Tinubu?
Peter Obi himself, Atiku Abubakar, they will not win.
You think if election were to hold today, yes, Tinubu will still defeat them?
Yes.
Okay.
I can give you 2 to 3 points. What is a leader has to be patient to take whatsoever comes his way. Tinubu is found competent in that. Secondly, if Atiku Abubakar thinks he's a lover of the North, a lover of Nigeria, what he's supposed to do is write a letter, even on Twitter, to the president as an advice. He never did that. He will only come and say a lot of rubbish. We are media men.
With due apologies.
I'm a media person. He needs to know what he is to say. They are the ones that are creating more havoc to this. They are the ones creating more havoc to this.
Are you not really passing the buck? The vice president also said even the hunger. I mean, you know,
of course,
that opposition.
Are
you people not really shifting blame, Kontagora?
We have taken the blame. We have taken the blame. Now we are not to talk of the past government. We are talking of bringing in ways for Nigeria to be one and united. If anybody we want to bring another thing apart from this, he's not a lover of Nigeria. He's an hypocrite. Apart from this bringing unity, you know Nigeria is in problem. You are still coming out to say you have an opinion that will bring good suggestion. Why couldn't you say the opinion? You must not be in power before you support the government. A lot of these former presidents support the government by giving the awards. General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida, he wrote something very important to the president. It is not insultive, but he's trying to tell the president, try and find a lasting solution. If not, something of so nature can come. Even though they said that statement, is it about the coup? But they said it was everybody understand. Yeah, it was not from him. He has said his mind. Yeah. Even though they say it's not really true. Bola Tinubu have used it. He picked something from it. From the advice. In order to use it to work. The advice that was not adulterated, because they said some people twisted the advice. It was the coup issue that was not his own. But there is some certain advice, as my brother actually said. Even Yakubu Gowon, yesterday he was there at the villa. So the people who want to contribute to the nation have been going to the president in one way or another to help him in order to give him a tangible policy advice economically that will help the nation. That's what he's saying. But on his own part, he does something of not of that. And Peter Obi himself that is coming, saying a lot of things. This is a businessman that has a bank that also has hand in transaction of dollars. Allegedly. Yeah. Allegedly. No, let me never mention his name. No, let me land. Anyway, maybe we will come back from break. I will allow you to talk about that. He has a shareholder in that bank. Okay. Let me correct. Okay, fine. He's having a shareholder in the bank. But any other thing I think will not take it. If he's a lover of Nigeria, what he's supposed to do is come out to the TV, advise the president on how to take Nigeria forward. But not trying to bring a lot of confusion. All right, thank you very much. Yes, we'll go on a short break. And viewers, don't go away. We'll be back shortly.
Dr. Omar R. The Book Launching Committee invites the general public to the public presentation event of the book, Code and Politics. Date, Saturday, 24th February 2024. Time, 10 a.m. prompt. Venue, Yar'Adua Center, Wuse Zone 4, Abuja. Special guest of honor, Chief Olusegun Obasanjo, GCFR. Chairman of the occasion, Professor Ango Abdullahi, CON. Guest of honor, Senator Doye Diri, Governor, Bayelsa State. Royal Father of the Day, Alhaji Barkindo Aliyu Mustafa, PhD, the Lamido Fambina. Elder Statesman of the Day, Alhaji Tanko Yakasai, OFR. Book presenter, His Excellency Dr. Kwisilieze Nwodo, CON. Chief launcher, Dr. Honorable Abiye Precious Sekibo, Achin III of Okrika. Book reviewer, Professor C.J. Dakas, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. Announcer, Alhaji Shehu Musa Gabam, Makaman Tilde, Chairman Steering Committee.
Welcome back. If you are just joining, you are watching Daily Politics on Trust TV. Do well to follow the conversation across our social platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and watch us live on YouTube. And we are discussing Nigeria today between politics and reality. And in the studio, we have two young people. Yes, Abdullahi Sidi Ali, a member of the APC who contested for this position of National Youth Leader in the last convention of the party. And of course, Musa Mamman Kontagora, Chairman APC North Central Youth Stakeholders Forum. He's also the moderator of ASO Villa News, an online platform which reports the activities of the federal government. Welcome back to the program.
Thank you for
Yes, Sidi, let me start with you. Okay. Yes, Kontagora appears so combative. He's so angry with the presidential candidates. But we're actually talking about substance. Yes, what should be done. And I agree that you have right to give your own side of the story. But even the Labour is not happy with the Tinubu administration. Is their anger justified? The other day they said they want 1 million naira.
For the economy.
Yeah, because of the level of devastation. Earlier it was 200,000, but from that time to this point now, the inflation has crept into the economy to the extent that they are trying to ask for 1 million naira. And they are threatening to go
for the national
protest. Yes.
So I'm not an economist, but with the little I know about economy, I know I don't know the kind of investigation that the Labour has already did in their own base, but what I know is for you to talk about 1 million naira for minimum wage in the salary in Nigeria or any country, it is like you haven't accepted your naira value. Well, my reason of saying this is that
the naira has already
I believe the naira has already lost its base, but we we at the country, are the people supposed to boost our naira by giving our own contribution, by believing in our own currency? If we have put if we put our own contribution in the economic
revitalization.
Yeah. So I don't know which kind of investigation that the Labour has already did, but I think that what they are saying is totally.
I think it's a simple investigation.
It's not
they went to market now.
Not,
you know, a sachet of spaghetti is nearly 1,000.
Yeah, I believe.
So for you to buy, a carton,
even rice,
17,
this is about 70,000. About this thing, what are you call it? Rice, 70,000. Cement, 10,000 whatsoever.
So you can see. So the investigation is there.
I all believe on that, but once you investigate about what is happening in reality, you're supposed to investigate what is happening back of the reality. What I've already told you before about the crippling economy that the MFLA CBN governor, former CBN governor, did during his administration by allocating $1 million to a single individual. And when you went to bank and maybe when you are at home, they will call you and say $1 million you have been allocated $1 million, so you will get a profit of 300 million naira. That thing have already contributed. Yeah, I believe you, allegedly, with due respect. One thing, that money, if it's true, it has contributed much in crippling the economy. So if you have looked at that, thing that have already bring that, why not the economic team should be formed and the labor union should face the economic team and see what they're supposed to do in bringing back the power of naira. Let the labor union for them to
okay, you are saying that the labor should actually support the economic team
to support the economy. If situation is done, you can never change a policy by power or by say it by mouth. You only change policy. Yeah, you change policy by expressing and believing in it. Because when you look at it, it's not only Nigeria that naira has crashed on this. If you look at I'm a historian. Let me use my profession. If you look at, for example, after the First World War, Germany was one among the countries that have already clashed. Even their money. When you went to buy matches, you are going with a barrel with money. But what Hitler did to reform the economy that time, Hitler used a slogan which was called "Glory for the Germans is for the Germans," because the League of Nations have already imposed too much sanctions and so many things that Germany may pay that crashed their money there. So the German people started to voluntarily work. A shoe shiner will work and know the value of his money. A bricklayer, a doctor, everybody engage. Armies, people with creativity come together and they forget about the international communities. They close their country during that time. What happened to Germany? Germany today are producing Mercedes-Benz. Germany today are producing BMW. Why won't Nigeria follow? Germany are people like us. They are all human beings created like us. So the difference is for us to come and use a tactical thinking and creativity in order to form a standard policy and standard ways to help the nation. We are selling petroleum. We are selling crude oil. They are giving us money for crude oil. All Nigeria relies on salary. Labour are talking about salary. We believe salary is the source that is holding a single individual Nigeria. But go to the developing nation, they are not talking about salary. They are talking about infrastructures. They are talking about productivity. They are talking about creativity in terms of agriculture, in terms of economy, in terms of everything. So we supposed to, our labor union supposed to be very, very polite in terms of addressing issues and in terms of balancing issues. They're supposed not to be just coming and be adding money before they say 200,000. Just took a seat, 200,000. What did that 200,000 change? And it at 200,000 has turned to 1 million naira. You have already accepted that your own money doesn't have value in your eye. If you will accept to say that 200,000 naira for minimum wage, in some months you should change it to 1 million naira, even though with the hardship. We're supposed to see the ways. We're supposed to put our energy in the ways that we are going to make the Nigeria better for our future, for our children's future, for our grandchildren, even for us, Martin. We are the youth that are facing the reality and facing the future.
Exactly.
That's the main truth. Labor is not supposed to be just making
the cause for protest.
What I'm to add is protest, going by the definition, is coming out to tell the government that this is what you are facing. But believe you me, that is not how Labour want the protest to be.
Okay, how do they want it?
They have another thought in crippling the government. in making...
This is a serious allegation.
No, it's not a serious allegation.
Yes, if you say they have to triple the government.
Of course, wait. They have sit with the government. The government said they requested 200,000 from the government. In this hardship of economy, they added, we are trying to deal with insecurity, we are trying to deal with health, we are trying to deal with a lot of things.
But don't you think it's actually a fair request, going by what the politicians are taking home? The senators are taking millions, steps. House of Reps members, ministers.
These are elected positions.
What difference? You are talking about, but they all go to the same market.
What is there is, let's be realistic. Let's speak in one voice. I am trying to compare to you. The fingers are not equal. The labor are trying to compare themselves with people at the higher class than them. Like we are having teachers in the primary school. You have a senior teacher, you have a HM, you have a vice principal, you will also have the principal. But today the labor want to compare themselves equally.
Hey, they are talking about the reality of life.
The reality of life.
Right.
Even God Almighty didn't create everything equal. They have to, if they really love Nigeria, want Nigeria to move forward, they have steps to do things. We are facing a lot of hunger in the nation. The president have implemented. They are supposed to support the president. Let us have food first. Since they have started paying the minimum wage, been promised to them November and December, the president have started paying it. Let us fight one at a time. But what they are doing is they are adding more pressure. They are adding more problems. If they are lovers of this country, they should be patient enough to follow things into due process. Instead of calling for protest, write to the committee of the minimum wage that you want to sit with them. If they refuse to sit with them, they come out publicly and release a press conference.
But have you seen the memo, Kotogora? Have you seen the memo, the leaked memo from the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, requesting for 1 billion naira to actually inaugurate the committee that will now talk about the wages and salaries of the civil servant? Were you disturbed when you saw that?
Of course, it comes to me in two forms.
Okay.
I was disturbed, but in other form, I was not disturbed.
Why were you not disturbed?
In order to make adjustment in the minimum wage, we must have a thorough investigation. We have to go on research of a lot of staffs that are being receiving salary and minimum wage without working. They need to form a committee that will travel around the country. This is not something of sitting on the computer to do this. It has to go to all sectors that deals with the minimum wage.
But do you think they deserve 1 billion
need funding.
to do that?
They need funding.
But they deserve 1 billion?
To my own perspective, I'm telling you they need funding. It might be the 1 billion is not for all, is not only for the minimum wage committee. You understand me? And to me, the people find wanting in that should be suspended completely. In a country
is it
that
for the people who made the request or the people who leaked the memo?
The people who leaked the memo. In a country where we need development, we need togetherness, we need unity. We don't need all these things coming up. We need to bring in out ideas that will move the nation forward.
Okay, thank you. CD.
Yes, sir.
Yes, still, allegations everywhere. We don't have the facts that, of course, a lot of infractions during Buhari, a lot of infractions even during Jonathan. But some have started concluding that the infractions, especially in terms of corruption, that we are witnessing under government of Tinubu has dwarfed all the corruptions that we have seen before. Do you agree with this?
For me, I didn't agree with it because I have read the history of Nigeria. I have known how the history have been accusing government after government.
Every government is not in it.
Every government is not. Just look at from the founding fathers. Look at Festus Okutiebo, who've been the Minister of Finance, who've contributed in building CBN and bringing Julius Berger. Which kind of accusation is not accused? They have been eliminated by the government that take over after them. Look at the government after the government after the government after the government to Babangida to Buhari. Sorry, to Babangida to Shonikan to Abacha, Abdusalam to Obasanjo to Eradua to Goodluck to Buhari to Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. And how can I believe with all this Nigeria that have been this all antecedents? And we will say that in these months, that these months have already swapped its other efforts to run and leave the country. If it's true, if it have become today, it's just some allegations, as you said, and everybody is entitled to his own opinion, and people can say what they can say. It's only God that can know better. But we have already seen the contribution of the president in one single corruption case of a minister that was found in case of 580 million. Not $580 million, 580 million naira. Minister have been impeached. So if we are going to give this government, credit, we're supposed to give it the credit of this antecedent and this contribution that have made in impeaching a minister. A minister is a member of the council of the president, of the cabinet of the president, and a minister have been impeached, removed from office, suspended, and you will not appreciate that. And now we are talking about the last. We have get a government that a minister. I won't even mention that Nigeria have been raising words that say they have scam an aeroplane. Is it aeroplane or whatsoever?
Yes,
but nothing has happened. And now that corruption, that minister have been impeached of 580 million, and you put accusation and pin it. So, but our president during the inauguration dinner has already said that anything that happened should be pinned on him, because he said that he asked for the job. It should not be easy for him. So I think in collecting the bullets, it will not be easy for him. Anything can be said by the people.
Okay, I saw you smiling. Maybe you want to add.
Why I'm smiling is the general times you said that it have wiped away all the corruption.
I'm not the one who said it.
Yes, I'm laughing.
But I know you had it also.
Yes, I had it.
I'm sure you had it.
I am laughing. Yes. I am laughing because it is an allegation. The allegation goes to better. And the president did what? He saw all the tweets, he saw all the messages. What did he do? He called for a meeting. The pressure is more. Instead of him to do as the past government usually do, to keep quiet and do it within in-house, what did he do? He asked her to step down to go and face the investigation. For a leader to do that, you said we should come to reality.
Of course, that is the subject of discussion today. Yes.
He lived. He has the passion. She was one of the members, the ministers that contributed to this government. But he said, go and face the investigation. Are you going with me?
Very well.
All these are just allegations trying to what? To cause more havoc, to bring Nigerians hate this government. But we, as insiders, as lovers of the government, we will try as much as possible to protect the interests of Nigerians first, because we are Nigerians. Secondly, to protect the interests of the government by bringing in all the good things that the government are doing. A lot of the things said on radio stations are being sponsored by those that don't want the achievement of the government. The government is barely 1 year old. We face a lot of challenges in the past government, of COVID-19, of insecurity, of a lot of things. Then they expect this government immediately coming to power to do magic and work. Is it possible? It is never possible. The best here is let us all go back to God Almighty.
Okay.
And beg God. We might have wronged him in any way. And secondly, it is the duty of every Nigerian to see Nigeria move forward. Other clergies and religious leaders that are coming insulting the government or insulting, going by the two books, is pray for your leaders, for them to go in the right path. But today it is not being done like that. We need to go back to God. We need to contribute. Those in the market should do it within themselves with God. If the dollar rises, you have a lot of food in the warehouse. You bought it 3 months ago. What is affecting the food in the warehouse and the rising of dollar? That you cannot sell to those that are poor. If they are alligating this government with corruption, that the rich men, those manufacturers, those businessmen are also corrupt. Because they are only praying for dollar to rise so that they will rise it. But the best thing is this government we try as much as possible to come out with a policy of what? Price control. Every company has to have to fall back in government. There should be competition in producing of cement and other commodities. If there are a lot of competitions, I believe, and I'm saying it with a loud voice, there will be a lot of competition and there will be a lot of commodities in the general market.
So in less than 1 minute, so that I round up with you before I round up with CD. What call do you have for President? You know, because the summation of this interview is that you still believe in what he is doing. So how can he reduce the pains of Nigerians? This should be in less than 1 minute.
Well, the Senate President have announced it a few days ago that 300 billion have been allocated to governors for them to find a lasting solution of this hunger. The President should form a committee. Go after those governors. Are they using those funds given to them?
Or they are changing them to dollars to keep?
It is open that a former governor was found with huge amount of money in his own house.
So you are saying Tinubu should go after governors?
A committee should be formed.
Right,
they should do the right thing.
Okay, CD, what should he do to actually resolve the problem? Nigerians are hungry.
So
youths don't have job. In less than 1 minute.
Yeah, I believe you with what we said. We actually know that a democratical president is a president that will give any individual self-belonging and listen ears to the community. So I'm using this opportunity to plead upon the president to put more energy in what he is doing. It is not like we did not appreciate what he is doing.
Put more energy in making life difficult?
No, in making life difficult. How can I say making life difficult? To put energy in what he is doing in making things easy. Let him, as my brother actually said, let him raise a committee, not the committee that I say against governors, the committee in general of the whole political structure of Nigeria, including the Senate President, Speaker, House of Representatives, Speakers of the states, every individual that is holding a political office in Nigeria, President should put more energy to see how they are doing their administration system, and the president should take it easy in every chance that he's saying he can help the nation he should do it and use his power and do it, because we know that he is the one who announced that no more subsidy. He is the one, and he knows what the consequences will be. Please, with that knowing of the consequences that he knows, we know that if you know something, you might know some ways and some 1 or 2, 3 ways to know how you can replace easy things to be done in a place. So we are pleading to him. We are pleading even to the party leadership to put hands together with him and help the nation and help the masses and help the poor people.
Thank you very much. Yes, Abdullahi Sidi Ali, member of the APC. You contested for the position of national youth leader.
Willing to contest.
You will do that maybe some other
You contest more than.
Yes, and then Musa Waman Kontagora, Chairman APC North Central Youth Stakeholders Forum, and moderator Asovila News. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
We hope to have you some other time.
Thank you.
And viewers, that's a wrap on today's package. We sincerely hope you found the conversation engaging and informative, and be sure to join Daily Politics Live, airing every weekday on our special package of Friday. We thank you for being with us. Bye-bye for now. I'm Hamza Idris.